views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Hey, everybody, welcome. I want to welcome you to the show. Wow, this is our Sheer Alchemy segment with my co-host, Leslie Fonteyne. And, you know, I was just reflecting a few minutes ago. Leslie, myself, and Benny were just reflecting a few minutes ago. And I had a realization. When I started this exactly in the studio, pretty much this seat, but it wasn't the same table. They upgraded. I remember Benny, we had a spit glass. That is what it was called, but it was a glass that separated us. And I was so relieved when the glass disappeared because there wasn't this barrier. Then technology happened. And now, instead of a glass, I am surrounded by 6 computers now, plus my own. And that's how the world of radio has changed. So instead of the glass separator, I have 6 of these displays that Benny now has to work with. Why? Because we bring you the best of technology wherever you are. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there. Leslie joining me here today. What a great topic.
I just thought it was because you couldn't make the sandwich I wanted.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, she ain't gonna make me a sandwich.
That's right.
So I'm gonna throw up some monitors then.
Yeah, no more Italian food sponsors for you.
Right, apparently.
Oh my God. You know, what a great show. And you know, here's what we love about this. You know, this is what Leslie brings to the table. You know, there are some folks that will have us dance around the things that are going on in life. That's what they would have us do. They would skirt around the issue. But as a transformation catalyst, as somebody that uses the intuitive gifts, brings in the ascended masters, the light workers, into the conversation as she works with you, she's not going to dance around the issues that are coming up for you. Because if you're anything like me, I have done more dancing in place than I care to do today. So if you are listening to this show and you really want to find out how to move from where you are to where you want to go, this show really touches the heart and touches the soul. Today's topic with Leslie is when it all falls apart. I remember as a kid, and I hope I don't cry for this, Leslie. I remember as a kid, there was a game we played. And I think it was Ring Around the Rosie, the game, and then there's a part of it, and we all fall down. And I never really reflected back on that until this show today. But what a crazy thing to have children do, all fall down. Was that to put us in training?
It's an interesting thing. You know, if you look at the story of some of those nursery rhymes that we learned, that one came from the plague in London.
Duh.
And it's not a very friendly nursery rhyme, is it, when
No.
we hear the story? And sometimes when we're looking at the stories of these, it feels very sad to find out the origins of it. But, you know, this is a topic where you're right. A lot of people want to dance around what this is really about. But we are going through stuff all the time. And
Yeah. Well, we are going through stuff all the time. And the question is, okay, not one person necessarily more than another. You know,
Right.
one person's journey isn't the other person's journey, but it's stuff, right?
right.
Yep. So what happens with all of that, you got it? What happens with all of that is we learn to, if we're lucky, we get to work with somebody like you, and we learn not to become our stuff.
Yep. Well, this is a big thing that a lot of us, we say we want some things. We say we want to grow. We want to step into things. And a lot of times, don't you think, Pat, we could look back at something in our lives 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and in the midst of it, it was absolutely crushing. It felt like the whole world was falling apart. The problem is that we've been taught that things should not fall apart. There's a few lessons we learn about when things fall apart. One is things shouldn't fall apart. Second, there's something we did to make it happen. Third, if we don't get over it within a certain amount of time, we're doing something wrong also. And then we start, rather than learning our own lesson, learning how to look at it through the eyes of others. Like, why am I not over this yet? And then, as a result, we miss the lesson completely.
Yeah.
We miss it completely. And I have some personal stories of mine that if I look back and I look at what it took for me to come through it, I needed the shattering and the changing and the imploding of that structure that I had built my life around to step into the new, which allowed me to change. Now, I'm not minimizing some things that are super tragic, like deaths in families and horrible events like Katrina and whatnot. But even on my ride over here, I was listening to an amazing story about Katrina from a doctor that had moved from New Orleans to Houston, and it was so transformative. So you almost look at that and you go, wow, look what this person was able to do with this story. Look at the shift that occurred. Look at the gift it became for so many other survivors who began to tell a story they'd never told from their point of view. So today, I'd really like to challenge our listeners about a new story.
Yes. I love this topic, and the idea of looking at when things fall apart is an enormous opportunity to create a new story. And sometimes we can do this on our own, and sometimes we need a little help. There are stories that we hear time and time again. 10-year-olds that are struck by a picture of a child in slavery, and she decides to sell lemonade. And before you know it, she's on Wall Street, and she's selling lemonade on Wall Street. And then she has an organization now to end childhood slavery. And now she's not 10, she's 15. Mm-hmm. And is set by the end of 23. Her vision is to end childhood slavery across the world.
Yep. And then there are those things that maybe in our lives we've been told, oh, really? You think you're going through something? You think that's a big deal? Let me tell you my story. And then there's this one-upping and there's this competition. So then we start getting quiet. So it doesn't matter what your story is. It's important to you. It's a transformative event for you. It's a shift for you. I could take something, for example, my empty nest experience was severe. And why is anything severe? It's severe because the entire structure of my life and the significance of my life and why I went to work and got promotions or did anything or how I filled my time was built around my children. When I went from them becoming adults to them not even caring where I was during the day or what I was doing and nobody calling because they'd moved on to their own lives, it was a definite crisis. What's your crisis? What happened to you to shift you? It doesn't have to be something absolutely horrific, in the eyes of others. It could be something just so powerful in your own life where everything fell apart, or you began to speak your truth for the very first time and you just exploded, or you stomped out of a job and you were done and you were over it and everyone thought you were crazy. So there are times in these moments of so-called crisis where we're shifting into our own truth, and then the results afterwards are what we've been taught to fear.
Yeah. And, part of this for me is what I know you're going to talk about here today is I've never really been able to see it well all by myself. I mean, I've tried. I've tried to sit there and read the books and meditate and read more books and watch the spiritual movies. And, you have a moment where you think I can do it. And then it lasts, just 60 seconds, truly a moment. And then you're off doing the same old. You create the same pattern over again. Maybe it's just me.
No, I don't think so. But there is that part of us that's afraid of what the death means. And literally, it's a death of some aspect of ourselves. Bringing it into completion is how I prefer to talk about it, that we're bringing some things into completion. We tend to over-dramatize the end of a relationship, the end of a job, the end of a kind of life we've led to a certain point. And we've really brought it into completion. There's a part of us that's done. But then we're terrified because we don't know what's next. We don't know, well, what does this mean? Rather than getting excited that we could create something new, we become afraid because we're not knowing what it is. We learn fear of the unknown. We learn fear of ourselves. We learn fear of our own power. And we're afraid of our own choices, and we want someone else to tell us what our choices should be, because then they fit into our cultural funnel, our cultural filter, and then we go, okay, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go get another job. So today, let's look at some of these implosions and find out, really, is that what you're supposed to do? How many of us, just like you said, went out and did it again, banged our heads against the wall, and here it is again? Okay, do it again. Or do you want to take this moment and pivot? Let's pivot today.
Yeah, I love that. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll be opening up the phone lines for those of you that know the phone number. You'll be able to call in. Are you ready to create a new story? Are you ready to pivot? That's a that's a great visual. Otherwise, if we're not pivoting, what we're doing is we're going the same old circle. The same old story. There's a reason that country music is so popular. There's a reason that it is super popular. No matter how you look at it, it's a story of pain. It's a story of challenges. And at least what I grew up with in country, the old school country music, I got to tell you, it is Patsy Cline on steroids, folks. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Dr. Friedman Schaub. Negative self-talk plays a major role in how we create fear and anxiety. You're probably familiar with that worried, insecure, or critical voice that rises from somewhere deep inside, often at the most inopportune moments. You don't seem to choose the limiting, anxiety-triggering, or self-sabotaging thoughts, nor do you seem to be in control of them. Over the years, I've found that rather than ignoring or suppressing these negative thoughts, what works best is to redirect the mind with at least 3 counterbalancing arguments that shed light on the opposite, positive points of view. For example, if your negative thought was something bad will happen, counterbalances could be, right now I'm okay. There have been many times I was worried and everything turned out well. I have the strength and abilities to handle anything that comes my way. Positive counterbalancing is training your mind to search for and find uplifting and empowering perspectives for any given situation.
Are you feeling broken from your relationships? Are you second-guessing yourself about friends, family, and lovers? Tune into the hit show that's creating a buzz in the love-seeking community. Love Seeker Radio, finding love for your authentic self with renowned love coach Heather Lynn. Tired of dissatisfying relationships? Kiss them goodbye and power up your love seeker energy. Coach Heather Lynn reminds you that you can just be you, the beautiful and perfect you. Visit heatherlynncoaching.com to learn more. Pure Encapsulations is committed to producing the most complete line of research-based nutritional supplements, from fish oil to probiotics to multivitamins and more. Available through qualified health professionals and community pharmacists, finished products are pure and hypoallergenic to optimize the long-term health of all patients, even the most sensitive. With Pure Encapsulations, you can rest assured that you're getting the purest and highest quality nutritional supplements available. Ask a qualified healthcare practitioner about Pure Encapsulations today and discover why it's the supplement brand of choice for healthcare professionals worldwide. For more information, please visit www.pureencapsulations.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Enlightening, humorous, and compassionate. Listen live to The Kelly Ballard Show, insight and inspiration from the great beyond. Kelly is a fourth-generation medium and intuitive who covers topics ranging from grief, spirit guides, and listening to your intuition. Kelly can help you get answers and guidance from the other side with a little bit of humor and a lot of healing. Tune in to The Kelly Ballard Show, Thursdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Time here on TransformationTalkRadio.com.
Song is just, every time I hear that, oh my gosh, it just brings me way back. Welcome everyone, welcome back. Sheer Alchemy with my co-host Leslie Fonteyne today. And let's open up the phone lines because I can feel out there many of you are really battling a story that it's not serving you any longer, but if you're anything like me, you don't even know where to begin. And what a better place to start the journey than with somebody that has helped people all over the world, Leslie Fonteyne. So we're going to, we weren't necessarily going to do this so much today, but I think this is a good opportunity to do it. Let's open up the phone lines, 1-800-930-2819. As Leslie brings the Ascended Masters in, those light workers into the conversation, the angels in, so that when you connect with Leslie, you have an opportunity to really get some insight as to what that story is, maybe even find out why that story has served you. But most importantly, the question then becomes, what is falling apart in your life? And do you want a new perspective on it? Do you want to do some clearing? How about the sludge? I created crust busting not because I was at the high point of my life. I was at one of the lowest points of my life. And that idea came out of me sitting on a couch. The only thing that I knew is the remote was my best friend and just getting more crusted over. So 1-800-930-2819, 1-800-930-2819. And part of this, Leslie, is taking a look at, falling apart, not only what you talked about what it is, but how does that have anything to do with creating an abundant, juicy life? Because sometimes we can't put it together. We think, oh my gosh, I cannot find my soulmate. Oh my gosh, I can't get the job that I'm looking for. Oh, I don't know how to move to a location that I want, blah, 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 all of this. But yet we don't put this falling apart in context of that. Maybe you could shed some light on that.
I've worked with people where a year later we will talk about their desire for a partner, someone to bring into their lives. And I ask them, a year ago, would you have wanted to draw in a partner? And at that point, at that vantage point, they go, oh my gosh, no, I would not have wanted to draw someone in that place because they knew where their energy was. They knew what they came through. They knew what they shifted through. A lot of us, when we have structures, and I like that word, and think about some of the structures and filters around your life right now. The things that sort of make it look acceptable to the world. You're doing all the right things. You've got the car, you've got the house, you've got the job. And those are structures that our society validates. So a few of those things fall apart. Some things just don't hold up anymore. And if we're truly honest, Pat, we're going to acknowledge within ourselves something that wanted more, wanted to step out, wanted to create new, that wasn't resonating with that work anymore. All of a sudden, this thing goes, or we blow our stack, or we speak our truth for the first time, or we get angry for the first time where maybe we had not allowed it before. And that thing goes away. And then we freak out. And we go, oh my gosh, well, I didn't really mean it. Yes, you did. Uh-huh. So stick with it. Don't go into the fear of, oh my gosh, the old structure that held everything together is gone. Instead, back to that fabulous word, pivot. Shift into your truth. Don't be terrified in this moment. Don't be terrified of your truth. Step into your truth in this moment. What we're afraid of is that our truth may take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 4 months to really articulate, hear, know what's going on in our heart space. Give yourself that time. You're worth it. You matter. But don't panic that somehow Source is going to abandon you and betray you like all the criticizers in your life. All those that have some great advice for you, like Job's friends. Remember those guys? You know, one piece of advice after another, right? This is a time for you to go within and go, wow, what am I wanting to create? Don't be afraid of being alone. Don't be afraid of being alone with your own thoughts, with your own stuff. If you need a friend, call on someone that you know is not going to just slap some more crap on you. Call on someone that's going to elevate you and raise you up to another perspective, another filter, another way of consciously looking at this thing that's just happened.
Well, and you know, part of what you said is so aligned with the idea of calling on those people that are going to feed the old story too, right? Because don't they do that?
Yeah.
I mean,
They do. Even
they do.
A lot of the positive thinking, the law of attraction stuff, you know, it's like, you know, you were talking earlier, skirt around it. Don't talk about it. No, this stuff's gone down. This has happened. What's going on in me? Where's my consciousness right now? Where are my feelings? Am I aligned or not aligned? Are my thoughts over here and my feelings over there? Where is my cultural values, my family values? Whose voices am I hearing? This stuff takes time, guys. Mm-hmm. This takes time to get into. If you really want to do the deal, step into your abundance like you were talking, Pat. Step into all that you are. Then it's authentically got to be in alignment with you. And once it is, man, you can just set those intentions, explode on the scene, and step into all that you are. I'm telling you, but you may have to walk through that fire.
Well, and part of it is we're walking through the fire anyway. I mean, the life that we're living, I mean, if we didn't have these stories and we didn't have the pain that we're carrying around, we just don't know it.
No.
You see, there's a difference between being in the fire and walking through the fire. See, so right now, we're in the fire, but we get to walk through it and out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I think we're talking about. Mr. Benny, let's go to the phones if we could.
Yeah, we'll take our caller right there.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sorry.
Kathy.
Kathy. Are you... Okay, Kathy, you need to either turn off your radio or turn down your speaker, please.
Yeah, Kathy, let me introduce you to Leslie right here, okay?
Kathy,
Leslie,
do I get
can you hear me?
There we go. Thank you.
All right,
Yeah,
you're live. Leslie's here. How can we help you?
Well, I've been divorced for 4 years, and I'm still carrying that story, and I can't.
I love you already, Kathy.
We love you already, Kathy.
Well, thank you.
So what does this story mean for you? What does the story of your divorce tell you about you?
Well, I ended the relationship. I mean, it was dead a long time before I ever ended it, but it was just so full of disregard and disrespect, and so I guess I'm having a hard time believing that I would deserve more from somebody else, and how would I not choose that same person again?
Ah, so it's trusting yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ooh, this is a juicy one.
I've been out there. I've been dating. I mean, not more than like coffee dates and maybe a dinner, but nothing feels right, and I don't know how to move on from there.
Well, that's okay, because what's coming in loud and clear right now is about the importance of trusting yourself and trusting your own voice and trusting your own energy. And I think it's wonderful that when you are with someone, you are listening and you are fully present with your own energy, okay? Now, what you want to do is go, which part of me is pushing people away still resisting? That's what you want to get into. So I'm getting a lot of tightness in your heart space, which is the fear that you can't trust yourself and you're going to draw in more of the same. So we want to shift that out, okay? We're going to go, there's a lot showing up in the back of your neck, just a lot of fear that you're going to recreate the same. So we want to let go right now of the story. So let me ask you something. If you release the story, What comes up for you right now as I'm saying that? Because I'm getting some very clear stuff for you. What comes up as you choose to release it? It's okay.
I didn't really get, the feeling that I got was that sort of flopping in my stomach that you get when you go on a roller coaster.
Yeah. You know, that's a happy flop. And sometimes when we get the happy flop, it's a scary flop. And we think that when we're stepping into our truth and we're stepping into our joy and we're stepping into our power, that we're afraid of the unknown. So the energy that you're going to draw in now, Kathy, is something you haven't had before. Okay? So when we haven't had something before, we don't know what the shape is. We don't know how he's going to show up. But what if you shift right now in your heart space? So your heart's really opening up right now. And you shift into, you know what? I'm bringing in this happy feeling. I'm bringing in this I don't know what. I'm bringing in this alignment with my joy. And so I'm still getting some attachments in the back of your neck, and that's okay. But just sit with this a second. Just sit with this a moment. You're really shifting. Can you feel it? Because I'm feeling it for you. This is big about you trusting yourself, Kathy. This is really big about you being all that. See, there's a part of your inner child, by the way. She is really powerful. She is really strong. She's excited. She's part of that flip-flop. So I want you to let her drive the bus a little bit here.
Okay, even that, as you're talking about that, I'm feeling that flip-floppy again.
Right. And so here's the thing. That's an exciting expectation. All right? We think we've got to control these things. We think we've got to, okay, wait a minute. That's too out there. I better not let that happen. I better stay in control or I'm going to lose my mind, you know. So trust is important. The happy feeling is important, and inviting your inner child into this process is really important. And remember that you don't have to commit to anything that doesn't feel good. But that flip-floppy feeling, I want you to understand something. When you were a child, you couldn't control your environment. You couldn't control the universe. But now you can. So you can bring her along on these coffee dates. You can let her come along. But what's going to happen after today, I'm just telling you, you've done a beautiful job, and I think in the next few hours you're going to feel this and notice this, is that you're going to start drawing in very different energies.
Oh, wonderful. I would love that.
I know. So I think your story, you've let it go really quick. Maybe you just needed that whole pivot thing because you have switched off that story fast. You are totally worth it, Kathy.
Wow. I think part of it's maybe just needing some permission to do that.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is so
not to carry it
great.
around.
Well, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Leslie, let's go to break. But before we do, tell folks how they can schedule a full session with you. I mean, you know, Kathy may need some residual help on this, but how can people do that?
You know, I'm stepping people through creating businesses, expanding their businesses, expanding relationships, letting go of the old. There's a transformative part of this because, just like Kathy was sharing, there's the old story. And we want to clear out some of the old energies and ancestral stuff that's kind of interfering with, you know, what we want to step into. So you can reach me at lesliefonteyne.com, LeslieFonteyne.com. You can also call me 678-665-3366. And I do programs, I do individual sessions, and it would be great to talk to you.
And we're going to take a short break. When we come back, for those of you out there that want to create that same kind of shift, we may have time to, you know, bring on one of you out there for the next segment when we come back. So if this is something you want to shift and change, give us a call, 1-800-930-2819, 1-800-930-2819. We'll be right back.
Artie Hoffman is the hottest psychic with the warmest heart and the host of the hit show Angels and Answers. A renowned psychic, medium, spiritual life coach, and an entertaining motivational speaker, Artie has helped over 15,000 people with his amazing intuitive gifts, his passion, and his humor. Call 877-ANGEL-02 to schedule a personal reading or to have your own psychic Artie party. That's 877-ANGEL-02. And visit artiehoffman.com and Angels and Answers on Facebook.
Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, identify your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Leslie Fonteyne is a transformation catalyst and clairvoyant who uses her intuitive and energetic gifts to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
This is Peggy Snow, practitioner at Stellar Reflections, with a Stellar Reflections Minute. So many people these days are trying to find ways to relieve their stress. What happens to our breathing when we're feeling overwhelm and stress? When we tune in, we realize that we're either holding our breath or taking very shallow breath to signal the body that all is well, which most of the time it is. Sometimes all that is needed is a nice, deep breath to break the cycle. First, exhale to get all the stale air out by engaging the abdominal muscles and blowing gently. Next, take a nice full breath in, feeling it fill your body all the way down to your hips. Release fully and enjoy the freedom of movement. Notice how your body feels. Do you feel refreshed? Calmness is only a breath away. This has been a Stellar Reflections Minute. For more information about what we offer at Stellar Reflections, visit us at stellarreflections.com or call 425-999-9836. That's 425-999-9836.
Do you want the freedom to spend more time with your loved ones? Travel the world? Live spontaneously? Get ready, because the Chip Justice Show is here. Hosts Dr. Pat Basile and Chip Justice can help you build meaningful success while embracing life. Living a life you love is the end game in this new, inspirational, and empowering show. Positive changes for a life you'll love. Tune in every month on TransformationTalkRadio.com and visit PositiveChangeInstitute.co for more information.
Wondering how to play the game of life and actually win? Stop wondering and start winning the game of life with the unique, incomparable Lynn Brown. Lynn takes everyday aspects of life and infuses them with the magic of soul and passion to help others. She wants to help you next. Lynn offers a myriad of spiritual healing, from chakra clearing, aura healing, to even corporate and business readings. Bring your game face and visit letter R, letter U, intuit.com or call 844-letter-B-INTUIT.
There was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major.
Wow, it's a beautiful song. That is a great song. Welcome back, everyone. Sheer Alchemy. Leslie Fonteyne is in the house. Before we jump to the phones, if you could, again, let folks know the website, let them know that they can call you if they want full sessions. Tell them a little bit about how they can connect with you directly.
Absolutely. You can go to my website, LeslieFontaine, FONTEYNE.com. Give me a call, 678-665-3366. You'll have a way on the website to write me, and we can talk about the kinds of sessions that will catapult you into the next level of your existence. You're not listening by accident today. You're not doing this because you've got nothing else to do. This is your divine appointment, and this is your opportunity to change your life. So I do hope you will reach out.
I love it when that happens. Now, we do have someone that's going to be joining us here. Lily has called into the show. Thank you, Benny. Lily, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing, girl?
I do well.
Let me introduce you to my friend Leslie Fonteyne.
Hi there.
Yes, Leslie. I listen to your show. Hi.
Good.
I love your show. I love your show. I want to share that with you. Yes,
Awesome.
I listen to you when I get a chance.
Well, it's good to hear from you.
So what's going
Thank
on,
you.
Lily?
Well, okay, I'll try to make this so you understand. I grew up in the church, and in the church there were a lot of rules and regulations and everything else. And you mentioned the story of Job. I used to hate that story, actually, because Job lost everything, everything. And then God gave it back to him like, okay, here, but it wasn't the same family. And anyway, all that went on. But I got into spirituality and all that. And I found that I encountered some of the same people.
Yes.
In the sense
you are
of they
wise,
had
Lily, very wise.
Yes, that package deal. And I started meditating about a year and a half ago, and I had someone who had meditated for 30 years, so I was so impressed. So I kind of did the thing like Dr. Phil says, how's it working for you, to this person? And I couldn't get anything deep. It was at surface. I said, well, I'm going through quite a bit. Some things are coming up. Some things are surfacing in my meditation. You know, it takes a while for the mind to really focus, and a lot of times it doesn't. It takes years.
Yes.
A lot of times to get that focus that we're talking about.
Yes.
So, but people didn't go that level. They just kind of went like the package deal. Okay, well, if you're not there yet, I don't know. So
right.
That's kind of like what I'm calling about.
Well,
right.
You know what, Lily? You are your own guidance right now. I mean, do you hear what you're saying? You're right on for you. And, I really love that you've called. I came in through, a conversion process, which is how Source brought me through, how God brought me in. We all come from different paths. We all get our awareness and our enlightenment. We don't slam any of it. What we do encounter, as you have so wisely put, is that even in the New Age spirituality venues, we still have man-made structures because humans are still doing this stuff. So I've worked with many Reiki masters who will get guidance by Source or their guidance team to do certain things, and their masters that are their Uber masters tell them, no, you can't do that. That is a man-made structure. So I love the fact that you've done the exploration and you have gone deep, Lily. You are able to get to your truth. You are seeing it. You are hearing it. It's time for you to write it. It's time for you to speak it. And you are a healer. You know that, right?
I know.
Yep.
I know,
and you've been looking for
right.
You've been looking for someone else to tell you it's okay to start. So if this is your validation conversation, this is it. This is your appointment. This is your appointment with destiny. You are a healer. You are an oracle, by the way. You are a very powerful speaker. And you have words that are very transformative. You don't dish out pablum. You don't dish out the easy answers. You are very capable of talking about things like I'm talking about right now, right? Just like Pat said, we go straight for the jugular. We're going right into the reality of people's experiences. And I'm just telling you, this is just flowing straight out from channel. You are the real deal.
Okay. I need to hear that because I've been going in trying to get people to hire me. I can't speak this morning, I guess, but to bring me on in their program, and maybe I should be creating my own program.
Yeah.
Not maybe, I should be. I know that.
What was the name of that song, Benny, we were just playing? Wasn't that song called Hallelujah? Wasn't that the Hallelujah song?
Yep, that was the Hallelujah. So Lily, here's the thing.
Hallelujah.
I know.
Hallelujah.
I do want to tell you something, Lily. Back to the man-made structures and all, we're in a period where things are transforming so fast, shifting so fast, and you know that. You feel the energies. You've been brought in right on time, right on purpose. I do a lot of healing with people from religious structures, but we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Poor Jesus has gotten such a bad rap because, the church has basically destroyed his image, and it's just crazy how, certain ascended masters have suffered greatly at the hands of man-made structures. So you have, back to Pat's statement about crust busting, my God, you have got a gift. And if you'd like to talk some more about this, I would love to talk with you, and I hope you won't hesitate to reach out.
I will reach out, exactly. And Jesus was radical, too. He was love, but he was radical.
So I love that.
So people know.
Yeah.
Yes, very radical.
Yes.
Okay, then. All right. Thank you all.
You
all
bet.
Right, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you. When you think about it, Job was pretty radical.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you imagine? I mean, everything that Job went through, and still's like, I believe. I'm right there with you.
Well, I just love the story of the friends, and I think that's what Lily's sharing, in some ways, is that we have all these advice givers. And honestly, when we're going through this personal implosion where the pieces are falling apart, we want to grasp out to the known structures, to the known answers, to the, someone said go get this book. Someone said go get that religion. Someone said go pick this thing up and get that coach and whatnot. And when none of it's working, just what Lily was saying just now, it's like, no, you're not going deep enough. You're not going to the essence of this thing that's happening within me. I love what she shared about that, because this is the point at which you go within, you go, you know what? This is what Source is showing me. This is what I'm to step into. And then as you shift back to that pivot, then you draw in the energies that are aligned with you. That's how it happens. First, you accept it, right? So there was a part of Lily going, am I hearing right? Is this right? Yes, it's right. Now draw in those matching energies, just like our previous caller, Kathy. She was not validating yet the shift in her story. And as she did it, she's going to bring in completely different energies to match.
I got a couple of instant messages coming through that we should bring up when we come back. A couple of folks are like, I got a story. So, Sue Ann, when we come back, I did get your instant message. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask Leslie about it. But, if you would please go back to the homepage and just type a little bit more information about that. But yes, that is a story. When we come back, I will make sure that we give it to Leslie and bring it right on air for you. Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back. Yep, sheer alchemy. We'll be right back.
Hallelujah.
Tune in to Prescience Life Radio with host Mia Simone. Mia is devoted to sharing her extensive knowledge on the invisible worlds of energy. Join Mia and discover the science of intuition and connect with your greatest gift. Start living in your potential today and every day by opening up to the power of inner knowledge. To learn more about Mia, visit presciencelife.com.
Get ready to embrace your feminine nature and get wild. Join Lynn Brown and Wendy R. Wolf for the Wild Transformation Retreat this July 26th through August 1st. Get ready for a mental, physical, and spiritual challenge. A call back to nature and its unlimited gifts. To learn more and register for the early bird price by July 1st, visit areyouintoit.com. That's letter R, letter U, intoit.com.
Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Wondering how to play the game of life and actually win? Stop wondering and start willing the game of life with the unique and incomparable Lynn Brown. As an intuitive healer and experienced business manager, Lynn can help you live your life to its full potential. To learn more about Lynn, visit areyouintoit.com. That's the letter R, letter U, intoit.com.
Tune in each Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio to Limelight Radio with Katina Makris. This is an inspirational, cutting-edge radio show educating worldwide listeners on a diversity of Lyme disease-related topics. Each week, Katina will interview some of the world's leaders in health, wellness, spirituality, and human potential. For more information, visit limelightradio.com.
Tune in to Prescience Life Radio with host Mia Simone. Mia is devoted to sharing her extensive knowledge on the invisible worlds of energy. Join Mia and discover the science of intuition and connect with your greatest gift. Start living in your potential today and every day by opening up to the power of inner knowledge. To learn more about Mia, visit presciencelife.com.
That's what I say. That's what I say. I wake up in the morning, and that is what I say. I say hallelujah and thank you for this day. That is how I start my day. And I think, Leslie, when you start to talk about when things fall apart, for many of us that have been able to make that shift, and I'm right there with you, because most of my life, I got to tell you, it just was not a good sight, right? But we get the opportunity to change. We get the opportunity to shift. And changing a story is one thing. You know, Sue Ann has sent us a little message here from Oregon. You know, most people cannot call in if they're at work. So they love the idea. They get us on the smartphone, and now they can just like be texting things in. She says, I am carrying a story of my grown children. And weren't you and I talking about that before? Tell us, this is now, you talk about psychic, you talk about being intuitive. I am carrying a story of my grown children. What did we just talk about before, off air?
Right. And, you know, we don't know all the details of Sue's story here. But, you know, what was coming to me before we brought that up is that sometimes we're living a life and the container that we're in just doesn't fit us. And so here's Sue. Her container has shifted. You know, who moved your cheese? Whatever the story is, you know, what happened to what your life was and what it is now. And I don't know, Sue, if you're talking about empty nest. I don't know if you're talking about the shifting of that or the fact that you're attached to your grown children and you don't want to let them go. One thing I like to encourage my clients about is that when we release those in our family, when we release those in our lives that have had profound roles in our lives, right, whether it's children, partners, friends, we are then allowing them to go on their own life path. We are not controlling and directing it. So if there are expectations on their behavior, what they need to give you so that you feel like a mom, you know, did they honor Mother's Day, Father's Day, your birthday, all this kind of stuff, whatever. It's like those are attachments. Those are expectations of what we want those people to do for us. I would challenge you today, Sue, let's make this your birthday. This is your birthday right now, wherever you are. And this is your moment to go, what is my life? I want you to push all those other people outside your field. I want you to move them out, and I want you to focus on you right now. Who am I? What am I here for? What am I creating today? What do I want to create? What do I want to step into? Who do I want to be? There are some things that are surfacing for you right now that have nothing to do with your children. Now, if they are making some messes, you need to go within and go, is it my responsibility to fix the mess? I don't want you to answer this from a traditional, well, I'm the mother, where they're my kids, well, I must have messed up and all that. No. I want you to bring source into the picture, and I want you to ask, is it for me to fix this, repair this, or reconcile this? And I want you to really listen for the answer. And if it doesn't come for 2 days, I don't want you to panic. I want you to allow it to begin to unfold. And notice all the fear that comes up, because often the fear that comes up is, well, who will I be without this? So notice that sound that's coming from your field and then go, now, am I ready to release it? Am I ready to let it go?
Well, and that's really where we started, too, today. And we're talking about when things fall apart, because it's really not a question of are things going to fall apart. It really is a question of what happens when they do. How do we react to it? How do we respond to it? And, you know, many of us, you know, grew up not responding and reacting, just stuffing things. And that's not an answer either. Stuffing emotions is not the alternative answer, is it?
No, and we learned that from our family. You know, I mean, my mother's favorite line to me was, oh, really? You think you're going through something?
Yeah.
You think you're going through something?
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, I was. So I didn't learn to validate the voice within. And I love that you brought that up, because this time of implosion, this time of release, this time of change, this moment of opportunity to pivot is often changing the filter, taking a look at who we really are, what we have not expressed to anyone. And often our lack of expression is that we aren't speaking our truth to anyone. So is this your day? Is today the day to speak your truth, to be who you are, to be who you truly are? Maybe we haven't even gotten to the age of 50 and spoken our truth yet. That's okay. Let today be your birthday. Today is the birthday of your truth. So celebrate it. Get a journal. Write it down. What's coming up? It may look messy and sloppy and awkward, and you may not have the perfect words. So what? Begin. Start. What is your truth? Not through the filter of family, bosses, culture, whatever. Remove all that. Who are you? We learned our filters growing up. Your inner child is stomping his or her feet right now. So now, what is your truth? Let's let it be a birthday.
Yeah, and for folks out there, it's not a perfection about the writing. What it is simply just put it down on paper in a way you never did before.
I love that.
Nobody's going to see it.
Nope.
This is not about grammar. It's not about punctuation. It's not about spelling.
No.
It isn't about any of that.
I've told a lot of people, please don't go buy a big fat journal. I'm telling you to write little bitty notes,
Right.
because you're going to start thinking you have to be articulate. You're going to start controlling what comes out. You're going to, write these little things that come to you all day long. This is the beginning of you opening up, and then let source come in. Let's not forget about that part. We're allowing your guidance team to come in. Invite the ones you know about. Invite in the archangels. Feel your energy shift. Sit with it. Don't panic when you don't have the answer that very second. That's your inner child freaking out that you can't control the situation, won't be able to protect yourself. You can protect yourself. You're a grown-up. You can do this.
And I want to just say something. You just reminded me of something. Let me remind everybody of something almost ancient. You ready, everybody? Index cards. Index cards. This is really old school workshop back in like 1987. I remember we had to do that on index cards. They're small enough that even the most obsessive person cannot completely write a book on both sides of them. Isn't that interesting?
And write out the helpless part, the victim part, the mad part, the hurt part, all of it. Write it all out and just go, okay, which ones am I resonating with? Where's this coming from? Whose voice is that? And now go, all right, what's my voice in all this? I am pissed. Okay, why am I pissed? Because I've lived a life that wasn't mine. Okay, what do I want to do about it now? Let the truth come out. Let it unfold. Don't bring in a bunch of people to ask them whether you should be thinking that or not, feeling that or not. Skip that part, all right? This is a little courage here. It's okay to be in your own incubator.
Exactly. And isn't it interesting? We also then say, oh, Miss Leslie, let me just tell you this. Okay, I'm going to do that. But is it okay if I feel that way about somebody else that I know? Can I express my anger about them?
We can express it about them, but you know what? We brought them in. We have them in our lives for a reason. And now it's like, I've allowed this person to make me angry. I've allowed myself to feel these things. Thank you, God. What's the lesson? And now what do I want to do about it? Don't stay there. Don't keep telling the same story. Now go, all right, what do I want to do? Get that other person to change? No, this is about you.
And you don't necessarily need to eat a half a gallon of ice cream to do this exercise either, right, Leslie?
God, I wanted that ice cream last night.
Oh, my God, I did too. And I could say, and that was so, okay, don't go there, right? But you see how it came back today. See how that thought came back? Emotions.
I really
and
don't
ice cream.
appreciate that.
Emotions and ice cream. Oh, man. What a great show. Leslie, tell everybody your website and your phone number, and thank you so much.
LeslieFonteyne.com. LeslieFonteyne.com. You can write me. You can subscribe to me. You can find my phone number, 678-665-3366. Look forward to hearing from you.
One last question. What's your personal message? What you want to leave us with today?
Don't be afraid of who you truly are.
I love that. All right, everybody, we're going to take we're going to see you tomorrow, actually. And again, if you've missed any part of this show, it will play again tonight. If you want to find out more about previous shows that Leslie has done, you can go to our website, LeslieFonteyne.com. She's got a radio page. You can listen to all of her shows. They're all amazing. You'll find out more about Sheer Alchemy there as well. So go ahead and check that out. And for those of you, you can also go to TransformationTalkRadio.com or the Dr. Pat Show. Sign up for a newsletter like many of you do, and then you'll find out in advance about the next time Leslie's going to be on air, whether it's hosting her own show, Sheer Alchemy, or joining me. Make yourselves a great day.